Hello, everyone. So excited to jump on this platform with my good friend and lovely soul, our special guest, Joanne Scheer-Parkins. And first, let me introduce myself. I'm Carrie Brenner, and I've been with LifeVantage for 5 years. And for most of my life, I have been a biohacker in some fashion. I've always looked at ways to optimize my health, my family's health and well-being because of some health concerns that we have that run in our family. So I'm very grateful that these amazing products have found me and this business has found me. When I get to lock arms with just amazing people like Joanne Scheer, it's just so much fun and very knowledgeable individual, and I love to share the gift of activation and Nutrigenomics. So we want to thank you guys for being a part of this community and this beautiful community, and for taking the time to educate yourself on and watch this. So today we want to talk to you about Daily Wellness, our new product that will be launching on Saturday, March 13th at 9 a.m. And we all have been looking for, the best ways to optimize or boost our immunity, especially with everything that's coming at us on a daily basis at this time. And many people out there with compromised immune systems, compromised immune health, where they feel vulnerable. They're searching for answers to, protect themselves. So I remember at this time last year going to the store to try to buy zinc, and they were sold out. You couldn't find it anywhere. And, actually that makes a lot more sense than not being able to buy toilet paper, right? So, so our daily wellness is to protect. It's actually a proactive immune support with 5 main ingredients. Some of them you might be taking. We have vitamin C, vitamin D, and zinc. And drop in the comments down below and let us know what you are taking if you're currently taking those. The other 2 ingredients are less known and they're very there's a lot of value support with their immune system, and it's elderberry and fermented yeast. And we have Joanne Scheer-Parkins here to break it down for us. So let me introduce you, Joanne. Joanne is a registered dietitian, a master level nutritionist with a diverse career in clinical nutrition, diabetes educator, and food and nutrition management. She is known as a trendsetter. I love that. I love that about you. So a trendsetter dietitian. And what really stands out to me, Joanne, is your story with working at the Heart Hospital in South Dakota.
Yes.
And my understanding is you were a part of bringing over the Mediterranean diet. So that just...
Yeah,
and that's with in my family, heart disease runs in my family. So that really, when it captured my attention when I first heard your story. So a trendsetter, has been on the forefront of major trends in nutrition and wellness for the past 40 years. She is now at the forefront of Nutrigenomics, and with this great company. So Joanne, I guess, where we can start is maybe if you can just explain our immune systems, more about that and understanding.
Yeah, the daily wellness, the little canister here of the daily wellness. And I've been taking it myself now going on 6 weeks. So I have a little experience for it with this I can share it, But anyway, so daily wellness is formulated to target all 3 components of your immune system. Okay, so little background on your immune system. First of all, I think that more than anything else, when it comes to fighting any kind of pathogens out there, whether what it might be, whatever chronic disease, whatever, your best defense is a really good immune system. And I have been very proactive in that area with knowing that, being in this field of nutrition now, going on actually 50 years now, and understanding that. So you have three components of your immune system, and daily wellness targets all three components of your immune system. That's the number one thing that you have to really remember about this. If you're just taking the vitamins, that's just one part of your immune system, right? You want to attack it on all fronts. So you have the immune system kind of that you're born with. That's called the innate or your primitive system, right? That's what you're born with. And then you have a second one that is called the adaptive. That's kind of the acquired, the learned part of your immune system. So for example, if once before vaccinations you got measles, you built up immunity to measles and you would never get it again, right? Because your immune system would remember. And you have these memory cells in your immune system. They're called T memory cells. You're going to hear more about, I believe you're going to hear a lot more about T memory cells in the future in all the wellness literature about how important that is. For example, they've found that the SARS-CoV-1 virus, when that was floating around, 20 years ago, that people built up immunity and still had immunity to that virus, 17 years later. So that's called your adaptive immune system. And the third one that I think is probably something you've heard about too, is the third one is your barrier immune system. It's your skin and your gut, right? 70 to 80% of your immunity is in your gut. Probably the most important component of the three. Think about it, right? You need all three. You need all three of those. And that's what's exciting about daily wellness. So in the 5 ingredients, so 5 to thrive for your immune system with this product. Remember that 5 to thrive targets all 3 components of your immune system.
I love that. My son had struggled with gut issues, and really getting the right nutrition in him has been a challenge. But we got a juicer over the holidays, and we started juicing, which is he's getting his fruits and vegetables. But he's been on our probiotic, which is great. But now he's started taking the prebiotic and the daily wellness. And I know there's something in there, I guess, centered around postbiotics.
Right. So probably you mentioned the ingredients, Carrie, so I'll review those again. It was vitamin C, vitamin D, and zinc, 2 vitamins and a mineral, right? We've heard a ton about vitamin D, I think, in the last year, right? The importance of vitamin D for your immune system. I learned about that 20 years ago. So I've been taking 5,000 IUs of vitamin D a day for 20 years until I moved to Arizona. I was up north then in South Dakota. But since I moved down to Arizona, I've taken less now in a supplement because I'm outside a lot. I'm a pickleball player. So I get, that's another story. I'm trying to move up in my game. So I've been out playing quite a bit of pickleball. You probably see my tan here. But anyway, so, your vitamin D, the way that you're designed, the body really was designed to get vitamin D is really from sunlight. Sunlight activates compounds under your skin that converts to vitamin D in your body. And then you have this vitamin D tank, and then you store it up. And wintertime, and you're supposed to draw on it. But in South Dakota, nobody gets enough vitamin D, right? So vitamin D, there's really great research on vitamin D, how important it is for your immune system. Of course, vitamin C, that's a no-brainer, right? Important. I don't take vitamin C on, like getting mega doses of vitamin C. I don't really recommend that on a daily basis, but just a little bit every day is great. And that's what's in daily wellness. You're just getting a little bit every day of that vitamin C that you need to maintain those levels of your vitamin C. The same thing with like the vitamin D and with the zinc. The zinc is about 100% of the RDA. Perfect, because a lot of people don't get enough zinc. And zinc is involved in over 300 biochemical processes in your body. And it's particularly critically important for your immune cells. Immune cells need vitamin C to work and to multiply. So that's on the vitamins and the minerals. Third one is elderberry extract. We've heard a lot of, I think, more and more about elderberry extract. And there's 1,300 research articles on it now.
Wow.
It's been used actually literally for centuries in folk medicine, during the winter time, and during the cold and flu season, people were pumping up their elderberry extract. They would pick the elderberries and they would make a syrup with that and they would keep that on hand, and if you started getting syphilis and a sign of an infection, they would just load up on some elderberry. That's been going on for hundreds of years. But then, of course, now we have the science to back it up, right? About how important that is and helpful for your immune system. And then the fifth one is something that I don't think people have probably heard about. And that is a fermented yeast extract. And that's probably the really critical, and that's the foundation of this drink, is that fermented yeast extract. And it primarily works on the gut. Remember we said there were the three components of the immune system? That's the gut part of this, is that fermented yeast extract.
Well, that's where he's noticing a difference since
really,
and yes, he's been taking the daily wellness and the prebiotic. He mixes them together because they're both powder based in water. So he puts them together, and yeah, that's good stuff.
There's a study on this fermented yeast extract, saying that it improves gastrointestinal discomfort, right? By modulation of the gut microbiome. So we have a study to support what your son is experiencing.
Yes.
And the fact that and this study is fantastic. That one was actually conducted over in Belgium. This is a 20-page study. It's quite a read, but it goes into a lot of detail about what specific bacteria within the gut that it will boost up and modify, which is really pretty exciting that they are actually able to identify that. The actual mechanism of how this works and what it does for your gut is just fascinating. And I love the fact
that postbiotic is that.
Yeah, it's a postbiotic. Okay, so when this gets fermented, when they ferment that yeast, it's got a big long name. It's called Saccharomyces cerevisiae. You don't have to know that. But when that gets fermented, in that fermenting process, there are some, I would say, byproducts. A lot of times you think of byproducts as being bad, but in this case it's all good. You get some really powerful immune factors and things like beta glucans, in this fermentation process. It's just so cool. And compounds, and the yeast extract itself is really, high in nutrients as well. And it's still this postbiotic concept, post-fermentation process, right? This is the good stuff that's left over or generated and created in that process. So what's really exciting now, we also from this study said it also has prebiotic benefits, effects, modulating the different good bugs in your intestinal tract, right? And it also has postbiotic benefits. Really cool research on this about what it's doing for your gut. So fantastic.
Yes.
Right?
Strengthening up the gut, one of the three.
Yes.
Working on 3 immune responses.
Yes,
right?
one of the 3 immune responses. One of the 3 component immune system different components. The immune system, right? And I think that's the most important one. I think is the gut. That's why our company, that's why Advantage is been really focused on gut health with prebiotics, probiotics, and now we have postbiotic.
Yes.
Really think about that. The science on all of that is unbelievable. How much science we have on the benefits of those 3 for your gut, for your immune health, and believe it or not, even helping your sinuses. If you have sinus, drippy nose, sinus stuff, amazing. The gut's good for your brain. It's just, besides your immune system, a lot of benefits of that healthy gut.
Yeah, I know that fermented yeast, the information behind that, the story behind that really caught my attention. I know it has yours too. It really has everybody's, because usually, if you work in an environment in a factory, there's usually it tends to go more toxic than favorable.
That's right.
And so I would love for you to share that story
Sure.
behind the
Yes,
fermented
I'll tell you a
yeast.
little bit. Their backstory on this is it's really serendipity. It really is. Because it actually started with a farmer back in Iowa, in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. 60 years ago, he noticed that his cattle were healthier when he fed them fermented grains, which worked on the gut, right, of the cattle, and they were healthier. So then what he did was he started a feed company in which he was manufacturing, this feed and selling it to the farmers and the ranchers, right, to feed their cattle. And so it was after many years, they noticed that the employees that worked in the plant where they were manufacturing this feed were super healthy. They rarely got sick. In fact, the insurance company was pointing that out to them. Then they had their control group. That was the experimental group. The control group were the employees that worked in the office. Now, they didn't have the same level of health and wellness as those that worked in the plant. Handling that product, probably inhaling some of it, getting it on their hands, consuming it, whether, just being in that plant, they were getting some of this fermented yeast extract into their body. So then a biotech company partnered up with the company and started, figuring out what was it in that cattle feed? What was it that was causing this health benefit and that's how they came up with that patented fermented yeast extract. And there's 15 research studies, 7 preclinical and 8 human, high quality human clinical control studies, placebo control, double blind placebo control. Really well done. I was talking about this one here that was really great study that was conducted over, actually, the researchers in Belgium did this. It's fascinating. So there's all this great research. I just can't wait because it's just, we're just launching this. I know for me, definitely my sinuses are better. That drip,
I've noticed a little bit of a difference. I've only been taking it for a couple of weeks, but I have noticed not as nasally.
Yeah.
And and I know, allergies are a big thing right now too.
It's spring.
Yeah,
spring in Arizona. Watch out.
Yeah.
The black tire will be blue when you're pretty soon.
I know there was a study that was focused on that, allergies. And are you able to share your screen? And
yeah, let me do that real quick. I'm going to bring up the title, see this study. So here it is, right here, published in 2009. And it says that this particular study said the results show that the significant reduction in symptoms, including nasal congestion and rhinorrhea, and the inflammation of your sinuses as well. So this really helped tremendously, a significant improvement in this particular study. So yeah, this is just one of many studies. Like I said, there's 8 of them. I think the one on the gut is my favorite because, when you can improve your gut health, that's going to, that's a foundation of your health. Life and death begins in the gut. So yeah. So that one is, that one's a good one for sure.
Yes, it is, especially now during this season. And I'm looking forward to, benefits over, it's just been a couple weeks, and I really think that it just has a wonderful flavor. I love it. It's yummy.
Oh, the flavor. It's, drink your way to a healthier day. And it's so delicious.
Yes.
Just so delicious. We have healthy happy hour every night, drink this.
Oh, that's fun.
Do that. Everybody, just think about having healthy happy hour. Have your daily wellness. 5 o'clock somewhere, right?
Daily wellness, daily happy hour. All right. So is there anything else that you want to share with us about this product that's their daily wellness that's coming out, or anything more about the immune system too?
I think again, everybody, we want to be proactive, right? Proactive immunity, not reactive and try to restore things, right? Or treat things. So how much better to be proactive? And that's what it is that says daily wellness. So you're going to take this daily, it's a little powder, you got it in here, I've got a canister, it's a little scoop here, and just mix it in with 12 ounces of water. That's what I do, stir it up, just yummy. So you do that just every day and be proactive with your immune health and your immune system. So we know that about health in general. I know I worked in chronic disease management for years. And that's the number one thing that we know is it's much easier to prevent chronic diseases than to try to treat them after the fact. And it's the same thing with your immune system. You know, be really proactive. Combine this with your Mediterranean diet. That's what I follow. I try to kind of modified Mediterranean diet. I'm a farm girl, so I still have my red meat in there now and then because, you know, I think there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I eat grass-fed beef. It's just fantastic. And, you know, one serving of grass-fed beef, just a small 3-ounce portion, will provide 50% of your zinc, your daily requirement for zinc, right? So really, there's a lot of great nutrients in that beef. We just want to make sure that we're eating a lot of fish in there as well. So just remember that. Proactive immunity. That's what we're all about.
I love that too, because I mean, it's like giving yourself a fighting chance, right? I mean, you don't know what you're going to step into. It's like a boxer stepping into a rink. You want to be prepared, and I think this just really levels you up, right?
It sure does. Yeah, I'm
pickleball and everything.
Yeah, pickleball. Yeah, I'm moving up in I'm trying to move up in my game here. You know, so I need all the help I can get.
Yes.
To stay healthy, right?
Yeah. So thank you, Joanne. I really appreciate all your knowledge and pouring into us today. It's very valuable, and I'm looking forward to this launching on Saturday. I'm looking forward to seeing you in person soon. So
yeah,
but I just want to thank everybody for tuning in, watching.